Welcome. My name is Becky Posada. I'm a nutritionist here at the Department of Public Health. My office is located in clinic number 23, which is right next to the Women's Health Clinic. My door is always open if you need to talk or you need help with your food during pregnancy. Also, I can see you if you need counseling to help lose weight after your pregnancy. Additionally, there are 3 nutritionists in the clinic, and all of them can also see you and your families if you need help with a diet for diabetes or high cholesterol, or tips to help your children eat healthy and grow well. Before I start, first I'd like to congratulate you on your pregnancy. I believe it's a privilege to hold the miracle that is growing inside of you, but it's also a huge responsibility. Did you know that what you eat during your pregnancy can affect the growth of your baby's heart, brain, lungs, and liver, and can impact their mental health, prevent diseases like diabetes, and can even set the stage for their lack of healthy foods as an infant and a toddler. But don't forget that what you eat during pregnancy also affects how you feel and your future health. Today I'm going to talk about 4 topics. Number 1, food to eat to grow a healthy baby. Number 2, foods to avoid during pregnancy for safety reasons. Number 3, tips for preventing anemia. And number 4, tips for preventing high blood sugar and gestational diabetes. Let's begin with some basics. Look at the For Moms handout that you have been given. This shows the 5 healthy food groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. It is important to eat balanced meals throughout the day. To do this, try to eat foods from 3 to 4 different food groups at every meal. I also recommend eating a source of protein at every meal. Protein is needed for growth, and you are growing a beautiful baby inside of you. If you are a vegetarian, this is no problem. You can get all the protein you need from foods like lentils, beans, peanut butter, nuts, and seeds. Another way to ensure you are giving your baby everything he needs is to eat a rainbow of vegetables at every meal. Often people tend to eat just a few vegetables, but I'm talking about filling half of your plate with colorful vegetables. Fruit also provides your body with healthy nutrients and adds color, but don't overdo it. I recommend eating 2 to 3 servings of fruit per day. Foods in the dairy group give us calcium, which is important for strong bones and teeth. During pregnancy and breastfeeding, you need 3 servings of calcium every day. If you cannot tolerate dairy or dislike it, you can also get calcium from dark green leafy vegetables such as spinach, kale, and chard. Almonds, almond milk, coconut milk, and broccoli are also all good sources of calcium. The grains group is important because it provides our bodies with energy and fiber. This group is often tolerated well in the first weeks of pregnancy when many women have nausea and vomiting. The healthiest choices are foods that are not processed. Try eating whole foods such as brown rice, quinoa, and oatmeal. And starchy vegetables such as sweet potatoes, squash, peas, lentils, and beans provide lots of nutrition and can be counted as part of the grains group because they are starchy. Another important nutrient to eat during pregnancy is fat, which will be found in a lot of your foods that provide protein. Healthy fats, especially omega-3s, are needed for growth and brain development. Your best food sources are salmon, sardines, avocados, walnuts, and chia seeds. I've just given you lots of information, but let's make this easy. Remember, you should eat balanced meals about every 4 to 6 hours, and they should include foods from 3 or 4 of the food groups. Here's how to do that. Look at my plate. You can see that it's divided into 3 parts. 1/4 of your plate should be filled with foods from the protein group. 1/2 of your plate should have foods that make up a colorful rainbow of vegetables. And the final 1/4 of your plate can have healthy starch such as brown rice, a sweet potato, or beans. If you are still hungry, how about a piece of fruit? Also, make sure that there's some healthy fat on your plate, such as an avocado or some nuts. Eating in this manner is called the plate method. Look at this example. This plate contains roast beef, beans, and a piece of bread. What is missing? There is a source of protein, the roast beef, but everything is the same color. Pretty boring, pretty ugly. There are no colorful vegetables on this plate. Next, look at this one. It contains roast beef, a salad with romaine lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, and some corn. This is a beautiful plate of food with protein, a rainbow of vegetables, a starch, the corn, and even calcium from the dark green lettuce. To complete this plate, you could add a handful of almonds or a slice of avocado to get those healthy omega-3s for your baby's brain. Do you get the idea? If not, your next handout, My Plate Planner, will give you another example. This plate has chicken for protein, lots of colorful vegetables, including broccoli for calcium, rice and beans from the grains group, and half an orange for dessert. Notice that the beverage is water. Plenty of water is recommended during pregnancy to deliver nutrients to your baby. Try to drink 1 glass of water with every meal, and 1 to 2 glasses in between meals as well. Now let's go back to your first handout and flip it over to the back side. At the bottom, you'll see a section on food safety for pregnant and breastfeeding women. Here is some information about some important foods to avoid during pregnancy. When we are pregnant, our bodies are working hard, and our immune system is not as strong as it usually is when we are not pregnant. Therefore, we need to be extra careful to avoid bacteria that can be more common in certain foods. Listeria is a bacteria that can be present on raw or undercooked meat, unpasteurized dairy, and sometimes on deli meat and hot dogs. Be sure that any meat and fish you eat is cooked all the way through. And if you want to have hot dogs or deli meat on a sandwich, be sure to heat it until it is steaming hot. It's also best to avoid any unpasteurized dairy, so check the label. Most dairy that you buy in the grocery store that was made in the United States is going to be pasteurized, so that's a good thing. The next bacteria to avoid is Toxoplasma, also sometimes on raw or undercooked meat. This is the same bacteria that can be present in soil or cat feces, which is why we tell you to avoid changing cat litter, to wear gloves while gardening, and to wash all fruits and vegetables well during pregnancy. Finally, when it comes to fish, we know it is a great source of protein and healthy fats during pregnancy. However, we also know that certain types of fish can have higher levels of mercury, which can be dangerous to your baby's developing brain. Avoid eating any shark, swordfish, king mackerel, and tilefish while you are pregnant. When it comes to lower mercury fish like shrimp, canned light tuna, salmon, pollock, and catfish, just pay attention to how much you are eating. We want you to include these in your diet, but just 8 to 12 ounces or 2 to 3 servings per week. Next, let's talk about preventing anemia. You need more iron in your diet related to the increase in blood volume in your body while you are pregnant. Iron also helps to carry oxygen in the cells in your blood. If blood tests show that iron levels are low, iron supplements might be necessary. But cooking with cast iron pans can also help to elevate your iron levels. Adding high iron foods to your meals is a fabulous way to prevent anemia. Where can you get iron? In which foods? Some of the best sources for iron include beef liver and red meat. But other animal sources such as chicken, fish, and eggs will also give your body iron. Can you think of any plant sources of iron? Do you know who this is? Popeye. Remember that he ate spinach to get strong? Spinach is a wonderful source of iron. Plant sources of iron such as spinach are not absorbed by your body as well as animal sources, but are still important to your diet. Other high iron plant foods include beans, lentils, pumpkin seeds, dried apricots, raisins, and iron-fortified cereals. Finally, let's finish by discussing how to control your blood sugar during pregnancy. Probably the best way to prevent gestational diabetes during your pregnancy is to follow the plate method we discussed earlier. Eat balanced meals every 4 to 6 hours. Remember to eat a protein source and add some healthy fat to your plate, because both protein and fat help to stabilize blood sugar. Fiber is also important, but no problem. If you fill half your plate with foods from the vegetable group and choose whole grains, such as brown rice or beans for your starch, you will be getting plenty of fiber. Avoiding high sugar desserts such as cake, ice cream, and gelatin is important. But even just as important is avoiding high sugar beverages. Look at these drinks. Do you think they contain any sugar? It is obvious that they do, isn't it? But what about juice? It's healthy, right? Believe it or not, juices can contain as much or more sugar than a regular soda. It is much better to eat a whole piece of fruit because it contains fiber and will not cause as big a spike or jump in your blood sugar. Let's end by playing a game. Here you see an iced coffee and a strawberry banana smoothie. Which do you think contains the most sugar? If you guessed the iced coffee, you were correct. But listen to this. The coffee contains 65 grams of sugar, which is 16 teaspoons. But the smoothie contains just about the same, 55 grams of sugar, which is 14 teaspoons. That's too much for you and your baby. To give you an idea of how much sugar is found in our beverages, look at this handout that shows the amount of sugar cubes in America's popular selling beverages. It's amazing, isn't it? What's the best beverage to drink? If you answered water, you are correct. We did it. We finished our 4 topics. I want to wish you a healthy, wonderful pregnancy. You cannot always control everything that will happen to you during this time. But remember, you can always choose to eat and drink the healthiest foods, and this will make all the difference.